account, detailed account activity, my bill, specifically on the billing statements, the deferred payment plan, how to make a payment, the parent PIN, and the electronic funds transfer, or something more simple, direct deposit. Okay, let's see here. Also, I'm going to be using a laser pointer to follow along. Okay, so this is the myBill or the account homepage. So the first thing we're going to be looking at actually is the detailed account activity. If you see my laser pointer, it's over the link. And let's go look at that now. So this is how the detailed account activity looks like. So it's going to have the previous term balance or over here on the left-hand side, current charges and payments, authorized financial aid, total amount due after financial aid. And then how it works is older charges will always be on the bottom. So right down here, like where the educational aid program is. And the newer charges will always be on top.
And just as a friendly reminder, we'll be taking questions live at the end of the presentation. So if you want to send your questions using the Q&A module, that'd be great.
Okay, next thing we're going to be going over now is the billing statements. So if you remember on the myBill homepage on the top right-hand side, this is where this box will state, where the title is My Bills. So billing statements are generated on the first business day of every month. So the one that was most recent was August 1st. So the way you go ahead and do it is if you follow the red laser, you click on the view hyperlink, and it should take you to your billing statement for that month. So the billing statement's great, but again, remember that the current activity is more real time. So that's actually a little bit better. But just for billing statement purposes, on the top right-hand side, there's going to be the statement summary. Right here, it's going to have the previous account balance, current account balance, and balance after authorized aid. On the very bottom here, it'll also show you the statement details, going from different charges. On the bottom, it'll usually show you pending aid, and then your balance after authorized aid. Something we're going to notate really fast is if your account is in a negative sign or in brackets, that means that it is in a credit balance. So if it's either in a negative sign like this, or in brackets, like if you go back down here like this, it means that your account is in a credit balance. So what that means is that your financial aid was more than enough to cover your charges. And those are funds that we are going to be returning to you. Okay. We're going to go into the next screen now. So this is back to the billing main page, myBill. The next thing we're going to go over is my deferred payment plan. So if you click over here where it's circled, it'll take you to this link. My deferred payment plan is a payment plan that will split your balance into 4 installments. So if you don't have enough to pay by the August 21st payment deadline, this is a great service we offer just in case you're not able to make the payment in full. So you click that link, it'll actually show you the terms and conditions for it and also your expected payment. So over here where I'm with the red laser, it's going to show you the total budget amount that's due right now. And if you're not able to do that, you want to do the payment plan, it'll show you how it's broken up into 4 installments. So over here, $1,928.35 will be your monthly installment, except because there is a $40 participation fee to use the service listed over here, your first installment will actually be $1,968.35. And again, your remaining installments would be listed over here, and the due dates would be listed over here. You click accept, you're expected to make your first payment when you want to sign up. So you will have from now to August 21st to sign up. So if I were to sign up today, say I owed $4,000, I would owe $1,040 today. On September 20th, I would owe $1,000. October 21st, I'd owe $1,000, and then November 20th, I would owe $1,000. Okay, just more information on the plan. These are the installment due dates. August 21st, September 20th, October 21st, and November 20th. So DPP is a per semester service. So if I want to use this semester, I would. If I don't want to use it next semester, I won't. But every semester I do sign up for it, I do have to pay that $40 participation fee. Okay, let's keep going over. So if we go back onto the myBill homepage, you'll remember that on the top left-hand side, where the same link where it says details account activity will actually have the make a payment link. If you click the link, it'll take you to the screen where you select your payment method after you check out. Two ways that you can pay online are credit card or debit card, but to use this service, there is a 2.75% convenience fee, electronic check. Do not use your debit card number, but you do need to use your account number and your routing number that's associated with that checking account. So if you're going to use a debit card, we highly recommend that you use a electronic check instead, since the funds are going to be coming out of the same checking account. Keep going. Okay. So many of you, I'm sure, are either parents or students, but for those of you who are parents and are very involved into your students' finances and want to make sure that everything's okay, we highly recommend that you become an authorized user. So if you click over here, the bottom left-hand side of the myBill page, there's going to be the My Authorized User section. You click on the Add New. All your student has to do is add your demographic information, name, email, phone, etc., and create a parent PIN. The parent PIN does not have to be a 4-number PIN. It can be the name of your cat, the name of your dog, the name of your first car, whatever helps you remember, because you do need that PIN whenever you call our office for any type of questions regarding the student account so that we can assist you. And after your student does put all the demographic information, you'll receive a link with a temporary password. After that temporary password, you go ahead and change it to a permanent, and you can always access the myBill homepage and do all the things that you need regarding to the student account without your student's credentials. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, and then once it's done, your name will pop up here. Okay. Okay. So there is a way to do an electronic funds transfer, which is direct deposit. So if your student has a checking account and they're expected to have that credit balance, remember when the balance is either in brackets or a negative sign, a great thing we recommend is that students sign up for the service because if they don't have it, the refund would be generated as a physical check in which they would have to go to the cashiering office, walk, pick it up, then go to the ATM or take a picture just to deposit it, and it does take longer. In terms of, we already have an electronic funds transfer account set up with their banking institution, we can go ahead and send the refund directly to that institution. And that's faster and more convenient, and the student doesn't have to worry about it. The student can access this link, electronic student refund, on their My UC Merced portal on the left-hand side. It'll probably take them 3 minutes, and just to let you know, it does take 7 business days to establish the refund or electronic funds transfer account. So it's maybe too late for the fall, but any other future refunds will definitely come through that. Okay. Just some important deadlines before we go into the live questions and answers. Remember that the August 1st billing statement has already been generated. Financial aid is expected to post onto the accounts. I know right now you see authorized aid, but it will actually post on August 20th as long as all the requirements have been met. And then the fall 2019 payment deadline is August 21st, and then school begins on August 28th. Okay. So thank you from Dana and I for going through that presentation, and we can now be answering questions. Okay.
So we have been receiving some questions already via the Q&A, and so I like to go over a few of them. That way, just in case you may have the same question, it may answer your question. So one of the questions someone did have was, if I was put as a non-res but submitted my SLR and now shows that I am a resident, but my financial aid has not been repackaged, when can I expect that to be repackaged as a resident? Well, we have to allow some time for the financial aid office to be notified of this change. And so normally we've seen it's about 2 to 3 business days to update your aid package. If you don't see any changes on your detailed account activity or anywhere on your myBill, we suggest then reaching out to the Students First Center and following up with them to find out what's going on. Let's see. We have some more coming through.
Okay, so right now we actually have one is, can you explain work study and in more detail? So work study is it's federally funded. So the government's gonna give you an allotment of funds. It's not going to post directly onto your student account like your other scholarships and aid. You do actually have to work for these funds. So you would go on to careers.ucmerced.edu. Again, that is careers.ucmerced.edu. Go there, look at the job listings for students, and specifically under work study, since those jobs would be using work study funds, that job will be paying you out of those funds and you would get paid bi-weekly. But you do have to go through the application process, submit your resume, interview, so it does take a while. Okay. So Dana, which question do you want to answer?
Sorry, I was asking, did you respond to the, if we are getting money back, how do we go with direct deposit from Leilani? Sorry.
Let's see here. Okay, so it looks like the question is, if you're expected to get money back, would it go through direct deposit? So if you have an electronic funds transfer set up, it should. It will probably go through if you set it up before August 13th. And if you want to verify that, you can go ahead and email us directly at sbs@ucmerced.edu or call us tomorrow during our regular business hours, just to confirm that it is set up. Okay, so I think the next one we should answer is, are freshmen able to apply to on-campus job if you are awarded work study? Since that is a follow-up to my previous answer, you actually are. Some of them may not let you. All of it will be listed on the job requirements on careers.ucmerced.edu. Okay, and what exactly is DPP and what does it stand for? So it's the Deferred Payment Plan, and it is a payment plan that we offer in which it will split up your balance into 4 installments: August, September, October, November. To use the service, there is a $4 participation fee that will be added onto the August installment. So say you owe $4,000, you'd owe $1,040, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. There is no interest rate or any type of fees outside of the participation fee to use the service.
And I'll take the next question. How long does it take to process a sent scholarships? Well, it all depends on how quickly the scholarship is received from your scholarship agency. Normally, we've seen take about 2 business days or so to process it. Again, what I would suggest is continue to check your myBill to see any changes to your authorized aid. And if you don't see anything, I would say like by Tuesday, you want to reach out to Students First Center to follow up on that scholarship. And then kind of tied to this a little bit, it says, would I get a refund if my scholarship overpays? Yes, you would. Basically, any type of aid, scholarships that are applied to your student account, and if it results in a credit balance, which you would know if you see a negative sign or the parentheses, then you'll know that that is a credit balance that would be refunded to you. And let's just say that your scholarship comes in later and you've made a payment and your account's paid in full. Again, that would, once that scholarship is processed and applied to your student account, that would again could be refunded to you as well. Let's see. There's another question. Hello, I noticed that he mentioned that we can pay by debit card, but in a different way. I didn't really catch that. So basically, what he was referring to is that if a lot of people choose to use their debit card as a payment, and we suggest maybe using your the option of electronic check. And we say that because a debit card is going to be treated like a credit card, and a credit card and a debit card are going to be charged a 2.75% processing fee on top of what the payment amount you're paying. So with you having a debit card, it's most likely that is tied to a checking account. And so that's just a matter of choosing the electronic check option and inputting your bank routing number and your bank account number. And that's free.
Okay, I'll take the next one, Dana. Okay, so.
Really?
Yes, really. Well, I still have to pay DPP if I have scholarships, but they are sent later in the school year. So to answer that question is, if your balance is pretty large, we do recommend you sign up for DPP. At least pay the first installment, because if you are left with the debt or an unpaid balance, you may have the potential of actually getting dropped from your courses. So yeah. So as a safe measure, definitely sign up for the deferred payment plan and do the first installment. And then when your scholarships come in later, they would reduce the remaining 3 installments. And say that scholarship was actually enough to cover more than those 3 installments, you'd get a refund. So I hope that answers your question.
Let's see. I updated my meal plan to 14 meals per week, but the cost change didn't show up on my bill. I waited more than a week and still didn't see any changes, so I decided to just pay my bill. Does this mean I will have to pay the remainder cost when it shows up on my bill? Well, I know a lot of changes to meal plans and housing charges were supposed to be completed by the end of today. If you're a student where that has been done and it resulted in an amount due and you've taken care of that balance, that amount will be billed to you on September 1st, and then that balance will be due September 20th.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I'll take the next one, Dana. You're hogging them up. So okay, so this question is, if I pull the loan offered by the school, can I still enroll in DPP? So school loans are typically, federal loans. Yes, you can. So if you still have a balance even after your loans and financial aid apply to your account, as long as the balance is over $500, 500, you can enroll in the deferred payment plan. Okay. Okay, so I have another question here regarding loans. I'm just going to do that follow-up. It says, will we see loans added to my bill by Tuesday? Student loans typically take 3 to 5 business days to process, as long as you've met all the requirements for them. So that's the Stafford loan. As long as you've done the entrance counseling and you've done the master promissory note. You can verify if you did that by going onto your student checklist. So if that's good to go, and it's been more than 5 business days and you haven't seen it, then I would definitely contact the financial aid office, either via email or calling the Students First Center.
Let's see. So can I have a turn now?
Sure.
So we have a question here. Is how long does it take for the electronic payment to be credited? If you're referring to the e-check, normally what we've seen, it's about 1 to 2 business days before it actually debits your bank account. So look for that. It will hit your account or be pulled from your account to make that payment. But the payment will reflect on your student account immediately.
May I have the next one?
You may.
Awesome. Okay, so the next one is, I have seen on my checklist that it is labeled that I'm a non-res, but you are, or I am. And in my bill, I am being charged as a res, as being a res? Should I worry about this? Wait, hold. I think they made a correction. Yes. Just to make it a bit more clear, I am a resident, but in the checklist, I am being labeled as non, but my bill says I'm being charged as a resident as a result. I'm not. Are you understanding this one? Okay. We'll go back to this one. Hopefully they can make it a little bit more clearer. So next question is, do you have to pay everything in order to move into the Heritage Apartments? So you do have to have your balance paid off, or you have to do the monthly installments through DPP.
Another question we have here is, if I accepted a work-study loan for the fall semester, but end up not working on campus in the fall, will this affect my loan? So work-study is not a loan. It is, as Miguel mentioned earlier, it is
Federally funded.
Federally funded, where you can obtain a job on campus and then you would be paid through payroll every 2 weeks. So that's just a matter of whether or not if you choose to work on campus or not. So it's not actually a loan. The only things that are loans are going to be the subsidized and the unsubsidized loans, or the Parent Plus loan that's available.
Yeah, and just to add on to what Dana's saying about work study, the funds don't actually have to go towards tuition. They can be used for whatever you need, any incidentals, maybe even just going to watch a movie. I mean, trying to have fun, right? Okay, so actually going back to the previous question that I was a bit confused on, I did get some clarification. So the question is, on my checklist, it says that I am a non-res, but in my bill, I'm being charged as a resident. Should I worry about my checklist not being updated? So Dana, do you know more about this?
Well, not so much the checklist. I know sometimes they can be a little behind on being updated. What I would say is that if you just recently noticed that you have been updated to resident, and give it, like I said, like 2 or 3 days before to see if any changes happen to your aid. So if your authorized aid increases, that means then the financial aid office has been notified of your residency change. Tuesday, I would say Tuesday, you don't see anything, you want to reach out to the Students First Center so that they can look into your matter for you and see about getting your aid, your additional aid authorized.
Okay, so the next question is, once we use a student loan, can we pay it off immediately or any time before the start of the 6-month grace period? So for this question, actually, the only thing we can tell you is that your lender would actually be contacting you, whatever federal lender that is, and you can make any arrangements with them. That's not really, you don't pay it back to the university on your student account, you pay it off to that federal lender.
And so we have another one that says, how do we report scholarships to the office? So you want to either email the financial aid office at finaid.ucmerced.edu and let them know that you have a scholarship that's coming in from a particular agency so that they can take that into account in your packaging.
Awesome, Dana. Okay, so how we're answering questions is older to newer, so just be patient in case we haven't gotten into your question just yet. Okay, so the next question is, I was recently assigned housing and my bill isn't updated with the correct fee amount. When will it get updated? So from what our understanding is, housing is working on any adjustments. But if you have yet to email housing, it's definitely does not hurt to just type up a quick email, hit send, and be like, I've noticed this on my account. Is there anything that you can do? Because just let them be aware of your situation.
And are we typing like this?
Yes, we do type like this. Okay, she's making fun of me. Don't get this type of coworker, people. Okay, so the next question is, hello, I noticed that that I mentioned that we can pay by debit, but in a different, we actually already answered this one.
My bad.
Someone didn't clear it out of the queue.
Excuse me.
I stir. Okay, I updated my meal plan to 14 meals per week, but the cost change didn't show up on my bill. I waited more than a week and I didn't see any change. So this actually does tie in with my previous answer. If you haven't emailed the housing office, go ahead and do so. And if they're supposed to have been doing them from yesterday and today, so if you don't see an update by say Monday, definitely try calling.
And can you pay your bills in cash? Yes, you can. The only thing is that you'll have to do that in person at the cashier's window on campus. You're in the Collegian Library, and their office hours are Monday through Thursday. I believe it's 8:30 to 4:30, and then Friday it's 8:30 to 3:30, I believe.
And if you're a coffee addict like me, the Lantern is right there. Yes, this is a paid sponsorship by the Lantern. It's not. Does the electronic payment require your bank's routing number?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it'll be your routing number and your checking account number.
And your routing number, usually it's easy to find, as if you are looking at your at a personal check, it's going to be the first 9 digits on your check. And then your account number is usually the next numbers following.
It can also actually be found on your bill, the statement your banking institution sends you every month. So it should usually be on the top right, if that makes it easier.
If not, Google it.
Google. Okay. Would we only get money from jobs that equal the amount of the awards, or would we also be getting paid the salaries as well? I'm not really understanding this question, but I'm going to answer it as I'm interpreting it. You get paid up to the amount of work that you're awarded. So say you have $5,000, you work up to $5,000, and then your work study is exhausted.
But that doesn't mean that you can't get jobs off campus. These are just related to jobs that are on campus.
Yeah, what she said. Okay, you take the next one.
Let's see. So I believe I would be short by $5,000 for my payment. Excuse me. If I don't pay that remaining $5,000 the day of the payment, I'm assuming payment deadline. Will it be considered a hold? Will it affect my enrollment as a full-time student? Well, yes. So if you do have an unpaid balance, what's going to happen is that by the payment deadline of August 21st, you'll get a payment reminder about this balance and kind of giving you a chance to try to fix your situation. And if not, as Miguel mentioned earlier, there is a risk of being administratively dropped from your courses. So if those classes that you're in and were difficult to get into, you want to try to stay in those. So you want to do your best to come up with the payment. If the amount can't be done in one full payment, then you're going to want to consider maybe doing the deferred payment plan where you can make that in 4 monthly installments.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome, Miguel.
Whoa, okay. Okay, so is there a specific person from the financial aid office who would be best to ask about resident, non-resident questions? So anything related to residency is actually the registrar's office, but they do have an email specifically for legal residency questions. That email is going to be, give you a second to get a pen, because I know I always forget. Okay, so that email is going to be slr@ucmerced.edu. That's slr@ucmerced.edu. Take it away, Dana.
Okay, so sorry I missed the question. Would I get a refund if my scholarship's overpaid? Can you possibly restate it? Thank you. Sorry, so yes, if a refund, if a scholarship is received and it was after, let's say your balance was paid in full, yes, a refund of your scholarship will be given to you. It's just a matter of timing. If your scholarship happens to come in prior to the payment deadline, then that's going to be applied to your overall balance. And if it still results in a credit balance where you'll see the negative or the brackets, that means that is a refund coming to you. I hope that answers your question.
I hope so too. Okay, next. How long does it take for the Office of Financial Aid to post a scholarship received on our myBill? So we actually don't know their processing times, and it also depends on your donor and when they send the check. So I can't give you like a specific date range, but it might be good to reach out to the financial aid office or the Students First Center to see if they can provide you with an update on a status of your scholarship being processed.
Or even reach out to your donor or the agency to find out whether or not they sent that scholarship to the university.
Yeah. Oh, and just to add on to it, if you're still waiting on, say, an enrollment form for it, you can always get that online on your My UC Merced, where you can select for enrollment verification. Okay. If we are relying on work study to cover the remainder of our bill, then do we go with DPP or is this accounted for? So how we mentioned earlier, it's a funded form of employment by the government. So it's your option to work. So we're not going to take an account that you got $5,000 and we're expecting you to use all those funds for your student account. So think of they're not mutual. So in other words, it doesn't post into your account. They are mutually exclusive because when you do get work study or a job with work study, it's going to be paid through payroll. So yes, I would definitely consider the deferred payment plan if you don't have enough to cover the balance by the payment deadline. And if you haven't exhausted all your all your financial aid, check to see if you still have maybe loans available to you just to help you with any balance that you may have.
And just because that loan amount and the full amount is offered to you, for example, it's $3,000 that's offered to you, doesn't mean that necessarily you have to take out the full $3,000. If you just need only $1,000 to take care of your balance, then you can always just take out a lesser amount of that loan.
Okay.
Let's see. with all refunds arrive as a check to be picked up on campus if you don't get direct deposit. Yes, so if you are expecting a refund and you do not have EFT or direct deposit set up, yes, paper checks will be generated and you will have to pick them up at campus cashiering. And I believe those are gonna be available Friday, next Friday.
Oh, pretty soon. I am going to, butt in and say that it's not all checks that are going to be picked up at the campus cashiering office. If you are a parent who took out a PLUS loan and there was an overage, and yes, I got you there. If you are a parent who got a PLUS loan and you selected when you applied for the loan that if there's any excess of the funds to be sent to you directly, then it would be mailed to the address that you provided when you applied for the loan. What would happen if I can't pay my bill on time? Is there some sort of extension to pay it off?
Unfortunately, there isn't any extension. The payment deadline is August 21st. So if you have a balance that's due and you did not pay it by that time, you are going to get a late fee. And then you are going to get a friendly reminder about your balance, basically telling you you have maybe a day or two to resolve this. Otherwise, if your balance remains unpaid, then as mentioned before, you will be at risk of being dropped from your classes. So if you feel like you can't come up with all of it, maybe consider looking into the deferred payment plan. You can always log in to click on that link on for DPP, and it'll give you like a breakdown and an estimate of what your monthly payments would be.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
Okay, so right now I do want to just say thank you for being, great attendees, and because this is our first webinar, and so we will try to answer your questions as soon as we can. Okay, so the next question is, my bill and financial aid are already showing. Is this an error? Are these numbers reliable? So for you, that shouldn't be an error at this point. So on your current account activity, if we remember the presentation, actually, I'll just go back to it, to the first slide. Let's see here, current account activity. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Wait, I missed it. There it is. Sorry for the speed up. So it'll actually show you all your charges here, your current charges in total here, your authorized financial aid here, and then your balance should be right next to it of how much you actually owe. But if your question is something, say maybe your financial aid was less than you expected, I would probably reach out to the financial aid office. One common thing I can say is please be sure that you're enrolled in full-time status, because that actually may be affecting it if you're only part-time.
Right, and the other thing too is that if you thought you had loans or took out the loans, you need to make sure that all your requirements have been met, because a lot of times students will accept the loan but then forget to do the other requirements, such as the loan entrance counseling or the master promissory note. So those are all requirements that need to be met in order for those loans to also authorize to your account. We have a question that says, is there a charge for DFF? I'm thinking maybe you're referring to DPP, I think, and if so, yes, there is a $40 participation fee, and that is for each semester that you choose to enroll. So if you're doing it for fall, you're going to pay the $40. You're doing it in spring, you're going to do the $40 again.
Okay.
Thanks. Leilani.
Thanks for the compliment. It's gonna go to
We could use a little pickup here and there.
Okay, so is there a
we don't get it from our boss.
Okay. Okay, so the question is, I don't know if you've answered this already, but if I pay my bill today, will it take business days for financial aid to receive it? Like if I pay Monday the 20th, would it count on time, or does it depend when they receive it? First thing is, you don't pay to financial aid, you pay to us, Student Business Services.
Collect the money.
So that's the first thing to that question. But yes, so you actually have until the 21st to make the payment. Say you do an electronic check. Yes, it's gonna take your standard 1 to 3 business days, like any check takes to clear. But you're still considered on time because you submitted that payment before August 21st, 11:59 p.m. Do not do it at 11:59. You might get it at midnight. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Take it away, Dana.
Let's see. Lost where we're at.
At the
Okay,
very top.
there we go. Let's see. I recently updated my meal plan. I need some more coffee. My meal plan from any 11 to any 14. This morning when I checked to see if my bill was updated, I noticed I was charged for both meal plans as well as being charged twice for housing and other housing related fees. Oh no. Okay, so we were notified about some of these errors happening with students getting double charges. It was our understanding that by the end of today, those adjustments should be completed. I would say if you don't see anything tomorrow, please reach out to housing at housing.ucmerced.edu and let them know that you are seeing double housing charges. If you don't get anything resolved with them, please feel free to reach out to our office.
Thank you, Dana. Okay, next question is, does the account that I am paying from have to be in my name, or can it be through my parents' account, or do I have to set up a PIN if they want to pay from their account? So you don't actually have to authorize them to use their checking account. Just make sure you get consent.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, oh, just go into my mom's account, have her pay, and she's gonna be like, why is there a $7,000 charge on my account, Louis? I don't know why I said Louis, but yeah, you don't you don't have to have a parent PIN for your parent, so you can use their checking account.
But we do encourage setting up a parent PIN for your parents. For if anytime your parents have questions on your student account, they will have no issues reaching us or talking to us with that parent PIN. And keep in mind, I know a lot of students get scared about setting up a parent PIN, thinking that you're giving them access to your grades. No, it has nothing to do with that. Basically, a parent PIN is only for your student account related questions, billing, etc.
Yeah, you're giving them access to what you don't want to deal with, finances. But you should. Anyways, it looks like they already responded to our answer and they thanked us. Take the compliment, Dana. Yes,
thank you.
Okay. How do I check my work study again? Kind of forgot.
Me too.
So if you're asking if you're awarded work study, go to your My Financial Aid. If you're talking about, if you've already applied to a job, talk to the Career Center so they can, give you some great tips on how to apply, go over resumes. Yes, we are also sponsored through the Career Center. We're in a lot of paid partnerships. We're trying to become Instagram famous, apparently. Can you work on campus and get paid even if you don't have work study? So you can work on campus and even if it's not through work study. So when you go on careers.ucmerced.edu, they do have jobs listed for students that are in a category for work study, and then there's other jobs that are not. Those jobs that are not paid through work study. They're actually paid through the department. So yes, you can definitely still work even if you weren't awarded work study. Okay, hopefully that answered your question.
We can answer the next one because that's about work study too.
How much do I get to work for a week? I want to say it's 18 hours. Don't quote me on that. Oh wait, or that depends on the pay scale of the job. Sorry, I read your question wrong. But yeah, you are only allowed to, I think, work 18 hours a week. But yeah, there's different job postings, just like anywhere. There's different pay grades depending on what you're going to be doing for that job.
Career Services is a great place to visit their site for all the different jobs and what the pay is, etc.
Just got to make sure you meet the requirements. Okay, Dana, I know you love answering housing questions, and that's what our next one is. So take it away.
Let's see. I'm being charged for a double dorm even though I'm in a triple. How long should I expect to wait for this charge to be changed, and should I pay right now even though I'm being charged for a type of room that I'm not in? So I'm not sure when the last time you checked your bill. We were told again that housing adjustments were supposed to take place by the end of today. So check your account, and if you don't see anything updated by tomorrow morning, let's say, go ahead and email housing office at housing.ucmerced.edu and let them know that you are seeing the incorrect housing charges. If you don't hear from them, please reach out to our office and we will try to get it, or, follow up with them to find out what's going on with your situation.
Okay, so I just want to butt in really quick. The person who confused us for financial aid just said that thank you. We're not financially right.
We are
SBS. And if you have bills,
you got it.
You're coming to us. Okay, sorry, I just had to say that. Okay, thank you, Dana, for answering your favorite type of questions, housing. Okay, so what is the difference between work-study jobs and other available jobs if we can use the money towards whatever we choose? Let me read that again. What is the difference between work-study jobs and other available jobs if we can use the money towards whatever we choose? Okay, so the only difference, you're still under the same regulations of only being able to work 18 hours a week because they're campus. But the difference is that one of them is paid through the department. So say you're hired from the library, you'd be paid by the library. But if you were to be hired by the library under work study, you'd actually be paid through the federal government because they did allot the school a certain amount of funds for work study.
And yes, you can use your money towards whatever. If you need that Starbucks coffee every morning, you feel free to spend that money on your Starbucks coffee.
The attitude she's giving while saying that is because I do come into work. So with Starbucks every morning. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is kind of related. What if I rejected the work study but now want to work on campus? So we don't know the process about that.
No.
If you can ask the financial aid office to reinstate that, hopefully they do. But if they don't, you still have the option of applying to jobs that are not requiring you to have work study.
Right.
So hopefully you get that job because we all need Starbucks. Okay, and next one. Wait, I think. Oh, thank you, I think.
Let's see. We were just assigned housing late last week, but the bill, oh, I just lost it. How come something just jumped up? So sorry, I missed. Okay, but the bill has not been updated to show the total due. So another housing situation, I would say if you do not see your housing charges on your account today, you should email the housing office at housing.ucmerced.edu and let them know that you were assigned housing, but you don't see the charges as of yet. And if you don't hear from them, I would say let's give it 2 o'clock, then reach out to our office and we will gladly follow up with them.
Yeah. All trying to have the right bill, right? Okay, so we just got a question to be upvoted, so we'll answer that. How does Catcard work? How do we put money into it? Or the meal plan in our Catcard?
Yes.
So your meal plan is associated with your Catcard, so your swipes, or you have the every day, you do need that Catcard to go into the dining pavilion, swipe, grab food, and eat. As far as putting money into it, you can also do that. It's usually through the Catcard.
It's online through myBill. There is a link there that gives you the option to load more funds if you need to. Anything meal plan related, so your residential dollars, which is to eat on campus, and then any CAT dollars, those are both loaded to your Catcard. So and you can always check on myBill. There is, like I said, there's a link, and you can check what your running balance
right
is.
now. Oh, I'm circling the link.
Yes.
Follow
Miguel is with the little red dot there.
Yeah, so you click there, it'll check your balance, but it should also allow you to. Oh.
But in that same area, there's also where you make a payment, there's an option to add funds to your Catcard.
Yeah, this will show you the balance. I'm sorry, I've been corrected, but it's okay. So
you're okay, Miguel.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, the link that I'm currently hovering over is to show you your balance, but if you click on the make a payment, or actually over here, it's gonna say add funds to your Catcard dollar plan.
I knew it was somewhere.
Yeah, it's under the My Campus, other items available for purchase. Because we just want you to buy. And then, okay, that was
me something.
No. Okay, that's the one is. Next one. We were just assigned housing late last week, but the bill has not been updated to show the total due.
I think I answered that already, but I think I forgot to move it over. Sorry.
Okay. I am being treated as a resident, but financial aid office shows my charges was okay. This is kind of weirdly, but I'm going to rephrase it. So I'm treated as a resident. I'm coded as a resident, but financial aid saw me that I was a non-resident before that, and because of that, it reversed my Cal grant, and it is now canceled. How do I fix the problem now that I am coded as a resident? Dana, I'm a student asking.
Well, you read it, so answer it.
Okay, so basically, it takes financial aid a couple of days to get notified that you are now coded as a resident and then you're being charged as a resident. It takes them a good 2 to 3 business days before they'll update your account. Once then, they should reinstate your California state aid and your institutional aid, if you had any. And if they take more than 3 business days, I would either follow up with them or, I would follow up with them at either finaid@ucmerced.edu or call the Students First Center or just show up in person. Okay. If my parent accepted the federal direct parent plus loan, then is there interest? Then what are the rates?
So all loans have interest. There's an interest rate. I'm not sure
I can look it up really fast.
What it is.
1 second. I know I shouldn't be using my phone. Or actually, you can just find that information yourself. If you go to studentloans.gov, it should give you a breakdown. If not, you can just type in on Google parent plus loan interest rate, and it should show you the link, one that says, make sure it's an ed.gov website, and it'll actually give you a breakdown and more information about the plus loan. Okay, we actually,
So since it's housing, I'll take it. I filled out the housing application, but in my bill, it says that my housing is as off campus. So have you been, maybe your situation sounds more as a personalized question. So if you like, you can email our office or give us a call tomorrow morning, and we can answer your question. Hopefully we can look at your account and specifically and see what's going on.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so if you are to actually write out a physical check instead of an electronic check, to whom do you address it to? You would actually be addressing it to UC Regents. Regents is the governing body of all UCs. So yeah, they're judging my statement.
It's a body?
It is a governing body. That's the definition. I looked it up yesterday. So if you go, it's going to be UC, and then you spell Regents REGENTS, and that's to whom you'd address the check to.
But keeping in mind the payment deadline is on Wednesday, so you want to make sure that timeliness of the payment arriving here on time. So if depending where you live, you want to get that check in the mail.
Expedite.
Yes.
Pay that $20 shipping, or go on myBill online and do the electronic check, which you can do on the last day.
And no fee for that.
And no fee.
And then you don't have to make the check out to UC Regents.
And you don't have to, try to get carpal tunnel. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I type everything and Dana judges me.
I sure do.
Because she writes everything.
I sure do.
Okay, is the meal plan a program that allows a certain amount of your financial aid to purchase meals on a weekly basis? Is this necessary to make food purchases on campus? So the meal plan is, from what I know, to be used at the dining pavilion as a swipe to the amount that you have listed. Catcard however, can be used for different locations for any meals.
That's even the food trucks that they'll have on campus as well.
There's food trucks?
Yep. Well, variety.
When is the deadline to sign up for DPP? So you can sign up for DPP up until the payment deadline, which is August 21st, 11:59 p.m. Can I pay the bill with the Catcard? Go, Dana.
That's a negative. No. Unfortunately, you cannot use the funds that are on your Catcard to make any payments towards your student account. However, those funds are to be used at the bookstore, the marketplace, as I mentioned, the dining, in dining or the food trucks that are on campus.
Awesome. Okay, more Catcard questions. How do we activate it? Or do we need to? If so, how?
That's actually automatically activated for those students that are moving on campus that should be ready to go and be ready to use for when on move-in day. For those of you that are not moving in, I believe it's still actually ready to be used on that day as well.
Okay, how long does my payment take to process once I pay my bill?
It's real time, so as soon as that payment is made, that is posted right away. We'll see it on your account within seconds.
Yeah, it's yeah. If you're using your checking account, it does take around 3 to 5 business days to clear.
Oh.
To clear.
I mean, yeah.
Or 24 to 48 hours to clear. But if you're using your credit or debit card, it should be instant.
Oh yes, sorry.
Okay, so it looks like someone added a separate question underneath this one. It's what is the benefit of work study? You get to work for money. That's the benefit, and you get to add it to your resume, and you can buy Starbucks. Yes, I am addicted to coffee. Okay, that's it. That's all I know. Dana, you want to add on to that?
No, I think pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the benefit. When we accept a loan through the loan system, will it be a count in the bill?
So as mentioned earlier, so yes, it's just not just a matter of accepting the loan. You need to make sure that you've also completed the requirements that are tied to that loan. So your loan entrance counseling and your promissory note, those all need to be completed in order for your loan to authorize. And let's just say you accepted the loan today, and then you've completed all the other requirements. It's going to take up to 5 to 7 business days for your loan to actually show authorized or to disperse to your student account. So that's something you need to keep in mind if you're deciding to do a loan. I would probably want to decide something in the next day or so, because the payment deadline is August 21st. And making sure, like I said, that loan entrance counseling is completed and your master promissory note.
Okay, the next one is, does financial aid give you more money if you live on campus or at the apartments? So the way financial aid works on awarding is it goes off a budget. So if you're off campus, on campus, or on apartments, they all have different budgets. So yes, you would probably be eligible to have a higher budget and may potentially receive more if you lived on campus than if you were not to. So yeah, but for more specifics, please contact the financial aid office. Dana shall answer the next one.
Typing something. Let's see. I have 2 bills from July 16th and August 1st that haven't been paid under the myBill section. What am I supposed to do? Well, July 16th and August 1st, your August 1st is going to be accumulation of anything that was on your July 16th. So anything that was on your July 16th is going to roll over. So your August 1st should be like a true picture of where you stand. So it would show any authorized aid if you have anything. If you're looking at your bill and it shows a negative sign, then you have nothing to worry about. That means you're getting money back. If you have an amount showing that's due, then that's the amount that you're going to need to pay by August 21st. If something's changed since August 1st for you, you want to look at your detailed account activity that we showed in the presentation. That's going to be real time. That's going to show where you stand at this moment.
Okay, we just got compliments on our shirts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what if
you didn't see the back? We have to show you the back. Yeah, I'll show them the back.
You answer the next question. I'll turn around.
Let's see. What if I accepted only the sub loan but did not take into consideration some fees and now need the unsub loan to help, because even with the CPP I'm unable to pay? So you can always take out the unsub loan right now as well. Again, you're gonna have to make sure you get the other requirements that are tied to it completed ASAP. If you maybe declined them, you can always reach out to the financial aid office and ask them to reinstate that loan.
Hey, which one did you answer? Oh, okay, cool.
That one I got answered.
Okay.
Do Catcard funds expire or roll over? So to distinguish, there's two different types of funds. So there's residential or meal plan funds. Those will roll over within the academic year. So for example, if you receive residential funds for the fall, and say you received $1,200 and you only used $1,000, you have $200 left over, those $200 are going to roll over to spring. But keep in mind, those need to be all exhausted by the end of spring, otherwise those will be forfeited. As for CAT dollars, those roll over from year to year or semester to semester, and those do not expire or be forfeited. If you do not use your all of your CAT dollars by the time you are finish your academic career here, that's something that you can request a refund of.
Money, money, money. Okay. What if I accepted only the sub loan but did not take into consideration some fees? Did you just answer that?
I answered that one.
You did.
Sorry.
Okay.
I keep forgetting to tell you.
So I'm checking my 2019 fall semester bill, and under charges for fall semester, I see a negative next to the balance. What does the negative mean? So that means that you have a credit balance. If your balance is either negative or in brackets, it means you have a credit balance and you are actually expected a refund because your financial aid was more than enough to cover your charges.
When will we get the financial aid funds to pay the August 21st payment? So any financial aid that you see on your student account that shows as authorized aid, that's automatically going to be applied to your charges for you. So there's nothing that you have to do. So it should automatically pay your your balance. If there is a remaining balance after your aid has been posted or dispersed, then you are responsible to pay that difference by August 21st. And if you have that negative sign, then that is something that's going to be refunded for you, and we'll begin processing refunds for students on Tuesday, the 20th.
Okay. The next question we have is, what services do the students' life fees cover, and what are the other fees like early childhood education and competitive athlete fees? Why are they mandatory and why? So how the UC system works is that all UCs are supposed to have a tuition charge and a student services charge, all that are the same price. Outside of that, the charges that you're referring to are campus-based fees. The UC system allows each UC to select their own campus-based fees. Okay, and so so they are all used to like support a different department on campus. So like the early childhood education fee is used to support the daycare center. The competitive athletes fees is to support our sports teams, and the student life fees are used to like support like the concerts we offer, like Coachella, not Coachella, Coachella. Okay, so that's about it. Are the jobs under work study the only ones that are approved for work study, or can we get like a dining campus job? So again, like how we stated, the job requirement says if it says only work study, that means they'll only take students who have work study to apply. For those that do not have that requirement, you should apply because they are not being paid through work study. Okay, it looks like, let's see here. Okay, is the ID and Catcard one and the same? Yes. Your ID and your Catcard are one and the same. They have like a little like slide thing, like a metal thing in the back that'll register your meal plan in CAT dollars. Okay, so just signed in, so I don't know if you answer this. As a parent, how do I know that my Parent Plus loan monthly payment is, what my Parent Plus loan monthly payment is? So for that, we haven't actually answered that. But your lender would be contacting you and giving you different payment options, whatever you're more comfortable with paying. I think you can also defer it until after your student graduates, but that's something that you would have to get in contact with your lender. Dana can answer the next one.
Do we go to my saved accounts to save an account to pay my bills from? So basically that section is saving your account information, yes, so that in the future, if you're going to make any additional payments, it's saved there for you, your credit card information or your checking account information. Just keep in mind that's not something that's automatic. So like if you were enrolled in DPP, it's not automatically taking them out for you. If you choose to save the account, that's just basically saving your account information so that you don't have to go look it up again.
Okay, which one did you answer?
About the my saved.
Ah, got it. Thank you. Okay. Thank you both. Okay. Someone just thanked us. Have a nice day for those who just left. Okay. Next.
Nice evening. It's already nighttime to go.
Okay. What if I signed up for DPP but my Catcard has not showed up on my bill yet? So if you signed up for DPP and you made your first installment, once your Catcard applies to your account, it would reduce your remaining 3 installments. So say you pay like $4,000 for the first installment, and then you have to another 4, like 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Your Catcard would reduce the remaining 12,000.
And let's just say, this related to this DPP. So say one of your students is, having some issues with your financial aid, and then you enroll in DPP, and you do later get your aid, and it's enough to cover your balance, and then it results in a credit balance, and that's an amount that's going to come back to you. So for those of you that are having some financial aid issues and they're not going to be resolved in time for the payment deadline, and you enroll in DPP, it doesn't mean that there's a possibility that you won't have to continue with your DPP payments. Hopefully your aid will come in and it's sufficient enough to cover your balance.
Okay, so the next question is, can I unaccept a loan? So as long as you didn't do the requirements, the loan won't pay out. But if you did do the requirements, the only way you can cancel it or unaccept it is by submitting a loan adjustment form. You can get that form online or at the Student First Center, and you either have to email it, fax it, or turn it in person. Okay, we have 2 more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, how do stipends work? Dana?
Stipends as in a stipend for grad students, or any type of stipends. Basically, stipends are almost just like aid as well. So that's going to, if you are awarded a stipend, it's going to be something that's going to be posted to your student account. And if there's no charges remaining on your account, and then it's a credit balance, that's going to be something that's going to be refunded to you. If not, if there are charges on your account, it's going to pay those charges first, and anything remaining would be refunded to you.
Okay, the next question is, how do we add money to our Catcard? I've actually answered this one, and it's actually going to be, if you look at the red laser, it's add funds to your Catcard plan right here. Okay. We keep getting lots of questions. So I'm looking at the bill, and my inquiry is, what does balance forward mean? Is the balance forward by banking institution or the balance I need to pay? Dana?
So basically, balance forward is anything that was maybe billed to you on a previous billing statement, so then that was carried forward, and any additional charges that were posted, that's then added together, and that's your new balance. However, if you are receiving any financial aid, then that's going to pay any charges, your total charges on your student account, and the difference is what you would owe, or again, if there's a negative sign, that's the amount that you're going to get back.
Okay, how do we check the balance of our meal plan dollars?
You showed them.
So it's actually going to be over here on the top. How to view the balance on your Catcard?
Actually, so it looks like they're
we're just going to take 3 more of the last ones, and then we'll be wrapping it up. So are there emergency grants? You'd have to contact the financial aid office to see if there are any available to you. Okay, I am being charged twice for housing and my meal plan. Should I wait for this to resolve by itself or call someone? So if you haven't done so already, we do recommend that you email housing@ucmerced.edu. That's housing@ucmerced.edu. And if you don't see any change by, say, Monday, good? Yeah. Monday, then I'd call our office or their office to see what we can do for you. Okay, the last question is, I ordered textbooks from UC Merced store. Does that get charged to my bill or my Catcard money? So you actually have the option. You can actually have, whenever you buy something from the bookstore, you have the option of adding it onto your account, or you can just pay with Catcard there. But it has to be the bookstore annex, not like the bookstore where you're trying to buy a sweater.
So it looks like they're trying to have us cut us off now. And so we want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. And we hope we answered your questions for you. If there's additional questions that you have, please feel free to reach out to our office. Our email is sbs@ucmerced.edu, samboysam@ucmerced.edu.
And our phone number is 209-228-4114. That is 209-228-4114.
And then, go ahead.
Okay, we just wanted to thank you all for attending our webinar.
Thank you.
And
And by the way, there'll be a recording of this webinar available in the next couple of days that you'll be able to see us again.
Again and again.
Have a great evening.
Have a great night, guys.